What's up, y'all? This is Angel McCautry. Welcome to the Gold Standard Podcast. And we have a special guest with us. One of my favorite people, Jay Manuel. What's up?
What's up? I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having
me. Absolutely. Man, you're a music producer. You are a voiceover actor, model. Yeah. I mean, you went to the Grammys. Like, you've done so much. Like, what haven't you done?
Listen, I just keep trying to accomplish, whatever I can in this lifetime. So we're just going to keep going.
You got to keep on going. I love that. Is there something like creative that you want to tap into that you feel like you haven't yet? Like, what creative space?
Well, I really want to do acting, like be on TV and in movies and stuff like that. Because I'm doing voice acting right now, which is awesome. However, I'd love to be on the screen. And so, yeah. And then as far as modeling, I'd like to do high fashion stuff. Because my dream is to be in GQ. So I've always said that I'm going to be in GQ. So I still haven't had that happen yet. So.
Hey, you know what I do? I write down all my goals, whether it's big or small, on a piece of paper, and I cross off the ones that I check. So make sure you write all that stuff down, man, big or small, and just watch it come into fruition.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's funny that you say that, because I have a whole list, and that's the same thing I do. So it's always good to hear other people that do that. So it definitely is always wild when it happens.
Yeah, we're definitely creatives, and GQ, y'all heard it. Jay, she's ready. Tyler Perry, she's ready. Who would you want to work with in acting, by the way? If you could choose like a director or somebody you could work with, who would it be?
Oh yeah, and by the way, my pronouns are he. I noticed that you had said she, so I just wanted to
I apologize. Yes.
No worries. So, okay, what were you asking your question?
Who would you want to work with in acting, or a director, if you could choose?
Man, that's a great question. I feel like I'm open, honestly. I feel like I'm open because I don't know enough directors, you know what I mean, to pinpoint one. Because I feel like the only one I know it by name is Tyler Perry. Right. I feel like I need more names. So I feel like I'm pretty open to in that regard, you know what I mean. I wouldn't mind being in a Tyler Perry movie. I feel like that would be fun, or a show. Yeah. I feel like it would just be fun to be in. So.
Absolutely. I could see you in a lot of Tyler Perry stuff. I could see you on BT. I could just see you doing everything. Just working on all type of movies. You know what I'm saying?
Limit yourself,
It's not limit. So musically wise, I see you like a mini producer. That's what you call yourself, right?
Yeah.
So who would you want to work with musically?
Okay, so I've always wanted to work with Kehlani. And that's been a big thing of
That's a good one.
So that's on the top of my list. And then outside of that, I'm pretty open with working with people in different genres, as long as they're just, passionate about music and I actually enjoy listening to their stuff. I'm fairly open with who I work with, because
who you work with?
It's really about the music and, making something really awesome.
I love that, man. So I do music too, so I gotta jump on one of your beats.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make sure I cop on one of them,
please,
and just kill it, man. Like, for real.
We gotta make it happen.
Absolutely, we're gonna make that happen. Y'all heard it here. I'm hopping on one of the beats, y'all. So would you rap or sing yourself and do a song, or?
Nope. Okay. I would not. I wouldn't. You wouldn't catch me. Which is ironic, because I used to want to be an artist when I was younger, and then when I started music production, I was just like, no, I'm okay. Yeah. I'd rather be in the background,
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. So let's get into I just made the mistake. You heard me say she, and I apologize. Yeah. So let's get into that, because you are transgender.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say the hardest part in your transition was? Because a lot of people don't understand what you go through, and to have correct pronunciation as well. So talk to me a little bit about that, so people can understand better.
I always say, if people just sat down with people and actually listened to their stories, we'd get along a lot better, because there's a lot of misconceptions around transgender people in general, and a lot of anti-trans legislation that's happening, and discrimination and all of that. And at the end of the day, people are people, we could sit here for hours and hours to like dissect everything. But at the end of the day, like people are just people, and you know, if people are not causing harm to anybody, like most people just want to live their lives, you know.
That's it.
Like
that's it.
You know, and I don't care enough about what people are doing in their lives, so I definitely don't want people to care too much about what I got going on in mine.
Right,
you know,
right.
I got too many things to worry about, you know. But yeah, for myself, I'm just I like open dialogue and conversation and stuff like that. Like as long as people are respectful and it's not intentional or like intentionally malicious or anything like that. I don't really, you know. It's just like when people go out of their way to like be mean and stuff like that. That's what's like, dang, that's frustrating because it's more energy to be mean to somebody than to actually just be like a kind person in general, you know. And like at the end of the day, we're all human beings, you know what I'm saying? And like we all have commonalities, and what we aspire to be in life and being the best person that we can be is a goal for most people in this world. So, you know.
Yeah. And Jay, I always tell people, why do we focus so much on things that have nothing to do with us? If we put that energy into our goals and dreams,
we get accomplished so much. Oh my God.
There's so much, man. Like, and just the hate. Like, I really just feel like hate is just uneducation. Because I was just telling somebody, like, racism, right? If you want the whole world to be the same color, same religion, same everything,
that's boring.
So boring. Like you wouldn't even travel because everything's the same. So it's really uneducation, man. Like
you know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's like I personally feel like a lot of people, they're not really authentic to themselves, so it's intimidating to see somebody else who's found that freedom, because being authentic to yourself is the most freeing thing, right? And a lot of people are not really tapped into their heart, into who they are. They're just being who society and what other people around them want them to be, so they just conform to the world around them. And you know, seeing people like transgender people specifically, seeing people who have come to this, I guess, enlightenment or whatever you want to call it, just like, hey, this is who I feel in my spirit I am, or what, you know, however you want to describe it or whatever, and just going with that, even against anyone's preconceived notions, negativity, because I always say, like, why would someone want to go through like all this hate if this isn't truly like what was meant to be? Because I don't like getting a lot of hate. I would want to be, you know, air quotes, normal or whatever normal is, but this is just what feels aligned, and it is what it is. I mean, and so at the end of the day, like, a lot of people are just not free, and it's sad because you know, if people just really tapped into like who they are and whatever that looks like. And a lot of people, they make changes to themselves, whether it's physically or the kind of clothes that they wear, like they express themselves in different ways, you know what I mean? And shoot, if I was to get a BBL, I guess nobody would have a problem with that. They'd be like, yeah, get it.
I love that. Hey, y'all heard that gem that Jay just dropped. Be yourself. Guys, be yourself. It's so freeing to just be yourself and not care, like, to a certain extent, not care what other people think of you guys. Like, be that person. It's so freeing, right, Jay? Like, oh my God.
And be safe with it too. Like, obviously, there's a lot of nuances, right? Like safety, everybody can't do that depending on the situation. So obviously I'm not telling someone, if you're in an unsafe environment or situation, just go do it and be like, oh, you know, screw y'all. No, I'm not giving y'all that advice. But at the same time, if you can do that, if you can get to that point, like, it's the best thing, because you're gonna be around the people that want you in, because you don't need everybody. Like, you don't need to be accepted by everyone. I think that's like another thing. Like, people worry so much about like everybody liking them, and I've done that, you know, before, like worrying so much about what people think and trying, but like, people are gonna find something not to like about you at any point in time for whatever reason. You could be the best person, air quotes, in the whole entire world, doing everything, air quotes, right, and someone still won't like you for whatever reason. So you might as well just live your life. You know?
You might as well. Hey, you're how old are you? You only 28?
I'm 29. Yeah,
29?
I'm turning 30 October 21st.
Oh, so when you turn 30, welcome to the 30 Club.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm excited.
The 30 Club is different than the 20 Club, but it's a lot of fun.
I'm ready. I'm pumped, you know, and I think also because I am about to reach 30, I feel like you care less and less about,
Less and less and
like,
less.
it's like, okay, you know what? You're mad about things that, to be honest, I'm gonna still keep doing, like, you know, I'm not doing anything wild or dangerous or really affecting anybody, like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by the time you're 40, you just are not even entertaining. You don't even entertain.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the interesting thing about it is like transgender people make up less than 1% in the world. And as of
Really?
lately, I would have thought, man, we taking over.
Taking over.
I think it's a world takeover at this point because if we're putting that much energy into less than 1% of the population, and we're really disregarding a lot of other things that we can focus on to actually progress humanity as a whole and better. So, you know,
Man, Jay, for you to only be 29, the maturity level and just like your knowledge.
thank you. And you know, I want to say this too. This is going to be probably an unpopular opinion. However, for myself, I feel that a lot of it is fear. Fear of like what is and what people don't understand. And some people don't want to understand. There are going to be people you can talk until you're blue in the face. They're not going to want to understand. They don't want to be educated because sometimes that education is more, like overwhelming to understand and have to dissect and then think within yourself of like, what does this mean for me and all these things. Like people would just rather live in ignorance than actually educate themselves and have facts presented to them on a certain topic and just live in that, you know. And a lot of people want validation too. I mean, if you think about like a video, if you post a video and you see someone that drops like a comment that's not kind, and then you see other people that respond to that comment, they're all wanting validation. They want to be validated. They want to be seen. You know what I mean? So if your comment section is kind, then people kind of follow suit. So a lot of people don't really have their own identity, but focus on others who are finding theirs or have found theirs or whatever, and they don't have a sense of self. So a lot of people need validation. They like to be validated.
They need to be, and you know, Jay, I've gone through that where like I felt like because with my basketball career, I got injured and I was sitting at home and I was like, man, I'm not anybody no more. I'm nobody, and I need to get validation. So drop us the gem on how we can get rid of that mentality. Like, why do we do that? Like, how do we do better with that?
I mean, I feel like we do it because all of us, whether we think about it or not, want a sense of community, because we're not meant to just experience this life alone. Like there's a lot of focus on individualism and doing everything by yourself, and you know, like all these sayings that contribute to being alone and being independent and doing things by yourself and not having anybody help you in life or anything like that. And, you know, letting go of that. I mean, community is amazing to have it. And there's, when you're lonely, that gives you so much time to like sit in all those feelings, and it can create anger and resentment and hate and all of those things. And so you have to let go, you know, like
gotta let go.
You gotta let go, like they said in Frozen or whatever. Let it go, you know. Like you gotta let it go, you know. Like, cause happiness is so easy. Like you could just be like, man, you know what? I'm gonna let go of all of this resentment and feelings that I'm just harboring inside, and talk to somebody, even if it's not a therapist. If you got to talk to Chat GPT, I don't know, you know, like write it in your notes or something. I don't know, whatever you got to do, like let those feelings out, because a lot of people just hold all that stuff in, and then they're just angry and they're going around and they're putting it on other people. And the projecting, like a lot of things are projections.
You know?
Yeah, and you gotta be right with yourself. because it's not anyone's responsibility to make you be right with you, because you gotta get on that journey. So, and also I think a lot of it has to just do with societal rules and expectations for people. And I'm sure, like for yourself, having a very successful career in the basketball world and getting injured, that that can create loneliness, because I'm sure people that were around you when everything was on the up and up, everything was all great, and oh man, we can benefit off the fruits of your labor. And then when you don't have that anymore, now people start to go away. Oh, I'm kind of busy. Oh, I don't have that kind of time. And then you start to internalize all those things of like your worthiness and a value.
There you go.
What does this say about you?
Jay, you see my face. I haven't noted. It's been people I've reached out to, like, yo, can you put in a word for me, for the team, blah, 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 who flat out, who I've been there for and helped, flat out ignored me. And I'm like, it's noted. It's noted who responded to me, and it's noted who has not. And I'm gonna just keep it with me.
Not switched over. Yeah, those people that haven't switched over, and it's very apparent. People try to act like, "Oh, it's not what's happening." It's like, no, we know.
It's actually clout chasing, because it's clout. It's like, okay, when I'm in a league, like you say, everybody's there and you're responding. Then I have this moment of like just a little down moment, as we all have in life.
Which is human.
It's human. And then I can't even get a response back from maybe a coach or like a player who I played with.
Yeah. Because people associate your value with how successful they deem that you are. Because success is different for everybody. It doesn't take anything away from you if you have a low moment, because at the end of the day, we all have low moments. And that doesn't mean that you're any less valuable than you were when you're at the height of your career and when you're not.
And that's definitely something I had to learn. And let's pivot a little bit, because you talked about not being alone. So let's go into a little bit of relationships. Congratulations on getting married.
Thank you very much.
So you got the ring. You and Pamela got the rings.
Yeah.
So did you proposed?
Yeah, I proposed. Yeah.
How did you do it? Tell our viewers.
Listen, it wasn't honestly in the most ideal way. Pamela says it was fine. I'm just a lot more critical and hard on myself. If you can hear my dog right now, she's probably going out and barking at people. So that's...
Oh, no worries at all. Yeah, no worries.
The food is here. Anyway, the food's here. That's why. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So when it came to proposing, we were living at my parents' home at the time. So I proposed in my mom's office. When I had a whole plan that we were gonna go to like dinner afterwards, and then the van stopped working at that point, and so we couldn't go in the van, and so my parents had to set it up in their like kitchen table and things like that. The food that I was gonna order, well, the food that we were gonna get at the restaurant. And I actually had a book too that at the front it said, "Will you marry me?" And then it had like a bunch of things that I, love about her, and it was in a not like a cartoon kind of form.
I love that. So what advice? Because I'm someone who wants to get married one day, and it's
get it.
It's been hard in these streets. Okay, bro, like it's hard out here.
Not in them. I've heard it's tough.
It's hard out there in these streets. So what advice can you give us who are looking to settle and be with that one? Like, yes.
I feel like it really, I know it sounds cliche, and I've always like, I don't know, but I do feel like it comes when you least expect it, when you're really not looking, which I know sucks to hear. It's like, dang, like, why, but it really does happen at the most random time, because I was not looking, and it all came together.
It just came.
Yeah. So, and also I feel like it's all about your vibrational energy too, because if you're like very desperate, you're gonna attract that type of person, and you're just not going to be in the situation that you want to be in. So it's just better to do your thing, and in that time you're going to attract the type of person that
and sometimes we feel like, because I felt like with my last situation, I had a boyfriend, and I've had both sides of the fence. Okay.
Hey, options out there.
There's options, but I felt like I had did the work, and when I met my boyfriend, I was like, okay, finally, this is probably somebody I'm going to be. But it wound up being the total opposite. He wound up like being someone who like really kind of like verbally abused me a little bit, put me down. I felt like I wasn't
so now
enough.
I gotta fight him. Okay. So.
Yeah, I felt like I had done the work. So was it something underlying that I may have missed, or because I thought I did the work?
He was trash. And we're not going to do the victim blaming. It's not you. So no, someone being trash and abusive to you is not a you thing. And so no, we're not even going to get.
So we ain't going. Okay, got it.
That. We're not even going to get you into that mentality.
Okay,
there's nothing. No one should be talking to you like that.
Yeah, the point is to leave. Once it starts happening, you gotta leave.
Yeah, like as soon as the signs start popping up, it's time to go ahead.
Another year after the signs popped up.
Now here's the thing though. That's very common. So like don't put yourself down because that happens a lot, and a lot of times if you're an empathetic person, you really want to see the best in people. You want to say, you know what, maybe this is just they're having a bad time. So I don't want to be the person that be like, oh, I'm gonna dip out now when they're at their lowest. Cause I was at my lowest at one time and then people left me, and you start to put yourself in their shoes and you're so empathetic to what maybe could be going on, what it could be, or oh, well, they don't do it all the time. So maybe I should have said this differently. And you just start making excuses for it. And the reality is, more times than not, it has nothing to do with you. It is that individual. There was something about him that, just wasn't right. And whatever that is, you got to work out. And it's not to say that there aren't things that obviously we can improve. Maybe you need to set better boundaries, with people. Maybe, that is something that you haven't done well in setting boundaries with people.
Yeah.
Or just accepting things, So, yeah, I mean, you can look at things like that. However, not to the degree of like, oh, what could I have done better for this man to like not talk to me? Like his screws are loose. And he's definitely the issue. You know what I mean?
And we have to understand too, Jay, like just because you love someone and you're in love with them, that you don't have to tolerate the BS.
No, you can. I love you, and I'll be on the other side of the world, and then you gonna be in your place. I'll be all the way over here. You figure yourself out with somebody else.
See, I love that. See, Jay, I feel like I could talk to you. Like, do you have a degree in like psychology or something?
No, just life. I think after you go through life and listen, it's not like I got all this dating experience. I mean, Pamela's the first person that I've been with and obviously got married, so it is not like I've all the experience. I think it's just vicariously living through other people and seeing what they go through, and you're like, yeah, because a lot of people that I've known have gone through a lot of like not great situations, relationships. So you just kind of learn along the way of like, yeah, this is not great. And also therapy. I've been going to therapy for
it helps.
a while now.
It helps.
Yeah, it definitely can help. Yes.
And guys, because my ex said this, I said, let's go to therapy. He said, therapy is for a certain demographic.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't even want to say how. And it's not true. Therapy don't mean you're crazy.
And the thing is, the thing is, that is what really, that division in mentality of saying something is for one demographic over the other, especially when it comes to mental health, is very damaging because, something that I do know because I have a lot of friends that are men and born biologically male. I know that there is a different in upbringing, a different in freedom when it comes to expressing emotions a lot of times, depending on your upbringing. So I understand that. However, at a certain point, you have to make that intentional decision to address those things that are affecting you mentally because you want to. You can say that, yeah, I was raised like this and I didn't get that outlet and all that other stuff. And then at a certain point, you got to make that decision, like, to want to actually change, because you can't change your childhood. However, you can change the projection of what you're doing in your adulthood. You can't go back in time or whatever, and again, going back to what we talked about in the beginning, finding community. there's plenty of men's groups that are out there that people can join. If they want to be around men who have gone through similar experiences, like you don't have to navigate it alone. And there are groups out there or just people, individuals that have gone through a similar experience or similar upbringing that have made it on the other side of the fence, you know?
I love
And
that.
so you don't have to stay stuck in where you are or stay stuck in a mentality if you don't want to. It's just going to take those steps to get there.
To get there. That's just so deep. Y'all hear these gems, y'all. Y'all getting free gems right now.
Listen, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk about the show a little bit. You live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
ATL.
Well, kinda. Yeah. Kinda. Close to it. Yeah.
Close to it. We'll claim the Aiden.
We'll claim the
Aiden. So tell us how the show came about.
So the thing with the show is someone in the music industry actually reached out to me through Instagram. Yeah, and connected us, Pamela and I, with the production company, Jared Creative, that produced the show.
Nice.
And so they're the ones who pitched the show to, TLC, and you know that all happened. And the first season, you know, is already done and finished with on April 22nd.
Yeah.
You know, right now I don't have any other information on what the future holds. However, I will say this. I am proud of what that show was able to accomplish even in its first season. There was a lot of intersectionality in that show, a lot of things that you haven't seen on reality television tackled all at once. You know, typically it's very, you know, like a show about a particular topic. Like you may have a show that has little people and that is the focus. They're little people, whatever. Okay. Or you have a show that's maybe about interracial relationships or about transgender people or, you know, whatever. And ours, or it had everything. We're talking about disability, interracial relationships, LGBTQ related topics, and all of that at once. It's really honestly beautiful to see that be able to be on national television. I feel like it was a big risk on TLC's part, especially in the climate that we're in. And, you know, to have a cast member be literally everything on the checklist of things to be, and still, you know, put out the show for the world to see.
Well, I want to say that you're the world's favorite couple.
Listen, thank you.
We've learned so much from you guys, just from what you guys do day to day. Like, you don't let nothing hold you back, no matter what you've been through. And I think that's the part that people really resonate with.
Thank you.
Our issues are really minuscule. You know what I mean? And we have nothing to complain about.
Well, I don't, you know, I hear that narrative. I don't want to, I don't want to continue that narrative because you can complain about things. I don't want people to watch our show and think, oh, well, if they're doing it, I can do it too. Maybe there are some things you just can't do. I mean, and it's not.
I see what you mean.
We're not, our show is not meant to be this, like, I guess lesson,
like
or
feel bad, or like
feel bad, or feel bad about yourself, because there are things that you can complain about, and you should. You can sit in those things and then go get through the motions. You know, but we definitely don't want to create this mentality of people where they feel like, oh, because you're going through these things, I can't sit and in the feelings that I have about whatever I'm going through, because that was not the purpose for us or our intention when people were watching. We just wanted to share what our experiences, what we're, you know, dealing with on a daily basis. And really, that's it, you know.
Yeah, I like
whatever you're going through, whatever challenges you're going through are valid, and that's fine. So if you want to complain a little, I got this quote from someone that I know that told me that you can have your pity party and then you got to have your pretty party. And so it's always stuck with me, you know, cause it's like, you can sit in what you're feeling. You should really understand, like, what am I feeling right now, and tackle that on. And then figure out a way to work through it in whatever
I love
way it
that.
looks like that and healthy way for you. Whether that's therapy, whether that's getting in a group, whether that's finding, outlets for you that are positive, like making music, playing sports, drawing, writing, journaling, whatever, you know what I mean? And finding out what works for you, but
I
also
love
don't
that.
suppress those feelings that you
That
have because then that creates more issues down the
I
line.
see what you're saying because it's kind of thing we're taught to think like that, but really you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
strengths that I don't have, and vice
yep,
versa. And
yeah,
and
yeah.
and that's the beauty of it.
Exactly. That's what makes the world so amazing. I mean, I've always heard growing up that we're a melting pot, and I feel like we're kind of getting away from that
Mm-hmm.
excitement of us all being a melting pot of people and being more divisive instead of coming together. Because I feel like that's what makes the world beautiful. Is
This
that
makes it so
there's so
beautiful.
many different types of people, and nobody's the same,
I
and
love
we can
that. I
all
love
learn
that.
something from each other.
And we can all y'all hearing this, y'all. Y'all hearing this? Come on, let's go. I love it. Jay, I gotta talk about this viral moment on the show.
Oh gosh, talk about it. There's so
This
many.
this trainer.
Can't wait to get to know you.
Dirty, 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 dirty love.
This trainer.
So you had a trainer and Pam was not feeling it, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you still have the same trainer and like
No, I don't. Listen, so I can only talk about this in a certain way, just
all right.
due to the. I want to say this. One, Pamela and I are both consenting adults, so when we signed up to do this show, we knew the things that would come through with it.
Yeah.
So it has been very interesting to see the responses to certain moments, especially like that. And so I just will say, Pamela and I are good. We're fine.
Yeah.
Everything is good.
And what is your favorite moment on the show? Do you have a favorite moment on the show?
Definitely the wedding. Honestly, we got to have the mariachi band, which is cool.
Yeah.
And that was really dope because they've never had that on, a TLC show. From what I know, I've never seen one. So a lot of things like the wedding was cool. Like it was fun, and I love the fact that where the show overall, like, we have moments that I feel like a lot of people could relate to, even the trainer scene, you know what I mean? So,
that we can relate.
Yeah, and so I feel like the great thing about this show is it hopefully allowed people to see us as human beings and as people and not just these inspirational figures, because we are human and we are just like anybody else in a lot of ways, even though we may have our disabilities and things like that. So, I think it's funny. I do think it's actually quite interesting to see like people's responses to different stuff and, and how people like perceive different moments. However, overall, I do really enjoy the fact that people have been positively impacted by the show. And, I've just had so many people that have come up to me or Pamela or both of us that have just said how much the show has really helped them and, and things like that. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. It's been such a blessing. And I feel like you guys are just growing and growing. And we're just so excited to see more that has to offer. As we're ending the end of the show, we have our gold standard question.
Oh, let's go. What?
And we ask all our guests at the end, what do you want your legacy to be?
I really want my legacy for people to see that I was myself through and through, no matter what, like people's opinions were, that I was always authentic to myself and that I tried to just be the best that I could be, not only for me, but for other people around and uplift others as well for them to accomplish the things that they want to in life. I hope that everyone can get to a point of true freedom, which is being the best version of you and whatever that looks like.
Oh, that's amazing. And oh my gosh. Guys, I just drop the mic. Let's go. So, Jay, thank you so much for coming on the show and dropping the gems.
No, thanks for having me.
We're going to invite you to the WNBA game. Actually, who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite WNBA player?
I'm just ready to go. If you get me out of the house, I'm going to be. I'll find a player. That's my.
Okay,
we're gonna. We going
Atlanta Dream. I'm inviting Jay to the game. Jay and Pam. We're gonna sit in front row. I'll be hitting y'all up. Let's get you at a WNBA game.
Let's get it. Come on now. Wait, hold on. No, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah,
let's
man,
go.
I haven't been to an Atlanta Dream game since I was a child. I haven't been since I was a kid. Yeah, I haven't been since I was a kid. So wait,
Jay, have you seen me play before?
I don't know if you remember this, but when I was a kid, my dad took me to the stadium for the Atlanta Dream, and I was on the news. Like, they interviewed me and everything, and I met everybody in the backstage and all that stuff. So I believe you were a team player. That's how I met you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Do you still do you have that picture?
I don't know if I have, but I do have the jersey that was signed by everybody. No, I think I got some shoes, and my parents might have that. I think my parents have the shoes. We had recorded the snippet when I was on it, but I gotta find that. It's gone now. It's gone from at least my parents' television, because I don't know actually what happened. But yeah. So that's the first time that I ever had met you and heard of
oh my God!
I was a kid, and my dad took me to
that's so
and honestly, I don't know how he did that. I don't know what the connection was. I'm actually not sure how we did all that. Yeah, we got to meet everybody before the game and meet all the players, and y'all gave me some shoes, and I was on a news segment and that's a little interview.
Yeah. Okay, the jersey. Whose name is on the back of that jersey?
It was multiple. The team signed it,
but it's got to be the big name. There's a big name on the back, and then we signed the. Because it has a number. Do you know what number it is?
I'll have to look.
If you find it, send us that picture, please.
Yes, I will send it to you, because I remember, getting that. I was literally in summer camp, and my dad came to pick me up early, and he had a surprise or whatever, and it was to meet all these players, and I'm still honestly not sure how that went down. However, that's what happened, and I had the shoes.
Wow. So we're going to make sure it's time to get you back. We're going to get you and Pam back in the game.
It's time to do a reel.
It's
time. I want those French fries, man. Okay.
What French fries?
There's some French fries that in the game, they had the little crispies. That's the only way I can describe it. But it has the little crispies on the outside of the fries. It's the kind of fries you get out of stadium, I guess, like a basketball.
The curly fries?
No, it's not curly fries. It was straight fries with little.
Well, crispies at the end.
It's not. It's the only way I can describe it. It's all over. It's like
okay, I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's probably the way they cook it. I'm not.
It's probably some Atlanta shit, because I ain't seen no French fry with crispies at the end.
And listen, it's the only way I can describe the texture. You know what I mean? Like,
all right. We're gonna find you those fries. We're gonna find you those fries. We're gonna invite you to the game. We're gonna. I'll send you the schedule so you can pick which game you want to go to. I will hit up the dream myself and make sure that y'all are set up.
Yeah, listen. I'm so happy. No,
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna make it work.
Invitation.
All right, y'all heard it first.
I'm proud of you, by the way. I want to tell you that. I'm really proud of you. I think it's really cool to see you navigate the highs and lows of everything, in your career. That's really cool. And, not everybody gets to that point. So I really think it's great that you're out here crushing it and living in the way that you want to. You know what I mean? Like,
Jay, don't make me cry.
Hey, listen, it's good.
Don't make me cry.
I want you to see yourself in the way, hopefully that, at least I see you. I can't speak for everybody, but I really think you're great, and I really want you to sit in that and keep going. Don't let anything stop you from doing what you want in life. You know what I mean? You're really incredible. So I ain't trying to make you cry your whole podcast.
You're the second person.
I do gotta tell you that.
Who was the first? Carrie Champion on her podcast. You made me cry. Now, Jay, you making me cry. Yeah.
Listen, you got to give the flowers while people are still here, because then people be trying to say, "Oh yeah, I love them," and they're gone.
And we gone, and I ain't heard it because I'm gone now.
Because I'm not gone now.
Jay, I appreciate that so much, because the journey has been so hard. Oh, it's been tough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I just want to play basketball again. That's all I want to do and finish. And
well, listen, I feel like you can make it happen in the way that's going to be best for you. And, I just want you to be open to what that looks like. So don't feel like it has to look a certain way. So maybe you play basketball and is for, I don't know, some organization. Or whatever. You know what I mean? Like how it looks. Don't focus so much on, try not to focus on so much on how it has to look.
How it
and
has
just
to
be
look.
open. Just be open to what it could be, and just keep moving through.
Let it go. Remember you said let it go.
Let it go. You gotta let it go.
Let it go.
I always tell people this is my last thing I would say. It's like be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I always say that big. On my lives when I go live on TikTok, and I always tell people like just be kind to yourself and also be kind to others, and you'll be good to go.
Thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you. I love you so much.
Yeah, I love you.
Tell the wifey and the family I said hello.
Yes.
And we'll get you to the game. I'm actually going to send you my number.
Yes.
I'll email you my number so we can just stay locked in. We locked.
We got you. And whenever you have a wedding one of these days, I'm just saying, I need a little owl to send our invitation through the mail. Now, no rush. Now, I don't want to be having to show up multiple times to a wedding. I want one and done. No, just kidding.
What? I want one wedding.
That's one wedding, all right? No, I didn't.
You are there. You are there.
I'll be there.
Only ones and twos. I got you. Let's get it. All right. Thank you guys so much. This was the Gold Standard Podcast, and we're here with Jay.